After sending Alexandra through the portal, you stand in the dimly lit control room, the adrenaline still coursing through your veins. The room is tense, filled with the hum of equipment and the heavy breathing of your teammates. Gunnar quickly gathers everyone around the central console, his face etched with urgency. Gunnar types furiously on the keyboard, pulling up files, reports, and any intel that might shed light on the Black Dawn. The captured intruder, still restrained, sits on a nearby chair, his eyes darting around, filled with a mix of fear and defiance. Gunnar's voice cuts through the air, sharp and demanding. We need everything we can get on the Black Dawn. Any mention, any hint of their activities, their operatives, or their plans. Ashley and Desiree nod, moving to different consoles and beginning their own search. You take a moment to steady your breath and join them, your fingers tapping away at the keys, searching through classified documents and encrypted files. The name Black Dawn had surfaced a few times in briefings, but details were always scarce. Now you're starting to understand why. As you sift through the data, a pattern begins to emerge. Fragmented reports of strange occurrences, rumors of shadowy figures, and unexplained events linked to the group. Finally, Desiree finds something significant. She leans over her console, her eyes widening as she reads. Gunnar, look at this. There's a report here about a series of attacks that happened years ago, just after the agency was formed. The targets were all high-ranking officials within our organization and a few key allied agencies. It was believed to be the work of rogue agents at the time, but she trails off, scrolling through the report, her brow furrowing. Gunnar leans in, his gaze intense. But what? Desiree looks up, her expression serious. But there were eyewitness accounts describing supernatural phenomena. People reported seeing things that shouldn't have been possible. Shadows that moved on their own, weapons appearing out of thin air, and agents who seemed to disappear into smoke. You feel a chill run down your spine. Supernatural elements weren't uncommon in your line of work, but hearing them associated with the Black Dawn adds a new layer of danger to the situation. Gunnar turns to the captured intruder, his eyes narrowing. Is that true? Are you using supernatural means to attack us? The intruder hesitates, clearly weighing his options. When he speaks, his voice is low and hoarse. You have no idea what the Black Dawn is capable of. You think you're prepared for everything, but you don't even know what's coming. Ashley steps forward, her voice cold and demanding. Then enlighten us. What is the Black Dawn planning? And what are these supernatural ties? The intruder looks around, then finally sighs as if resigning himself to his fate. The Black Dawn isn't just a group of rogue agents. It's an ancient order, dating back centuries. They've been in the shadows, manipulating events, guiding history from behind the scenes. And yes, they have supernatural ties. They've made pacts with things you can't even comprehend. Spirits, entities from other realms, beings of pure power. Gunnar's face darkens. What kind of beings? What have they unleashed? The intruder shakes his head. I don't know all the details, but I've seen things. Things that defy explanation. The Black Dawn's leaders, they have powers. They can control shadows, summon forces from beyond this world, and manipulate reality itself. The room falls silent as the weight of his words sinks in. If the Black Dawn truly has these abilities, then the agency is dealing with something far more dangerous than they'd anticipated. You turn back to the console, searching through more files, trying to find any mention of these supernatural pacts. After several tense moments, you come across a file marked Project Eclipse. As you open it, you see a series of notes, symbols, and ancient texts. It's all written in a language you don't recognize, but the images are clear, depictions of rituals, summoning circles, and dark figures performing strange ceremonies. Gunnar steps behind you, his eyes scanning the file. What is this? You shake your head, still trying to make sense of it. It looks like some kind of ritualistic document. I can't read the language, but the symbols, they're similar to those used in ancient summoning rituals. Desiree pulls up another file, her voice tight with tension. I found something too. There's a record here about a break-in at an old museum in Prague. Several artifacts were stolen. Artifacts that were said to have supernatural properties. Ashley steps closer, her eyes narrowing as she thinks. So, The Black Dawn has been collecting these artifacts, performing rituals and making pacts with otherworldly beings. They're preparing for something big. Gunnar nods, his expression grim. We need to find out where they're planning to strike next and what they intend to do with these powers. If they're targeting our headquarters, they could be planning to unleash these supernatural forces against us. The captured intruder, still seated and restrained, watches you all with a dark, knowing look. You can't stop them. The Black Dawn is everywhere. They have agents inside your organization, watching your every move. Even now, they're one step ahead. Gunnar turns to him, his face set with determination. We'll see about that. Desiree, Ashley, we need to secure every entry point to the headquarters and prepare for a possible attack. Sophia, keep digging through these files. We need to find a way to counter whatever they're planning to unleash. You nod, returning to the console, your mind racing with thoughts of ancient rituals and supernatural beings. You know that the agency has faced threats before, but this is something entirely different. If the Black Dawn truly has the power to manipulate reality and command forces from beyond, then you're not just fighting rogue agents, you're fighting the unknown. As you continue your search, a thought crosses your mind, one that sends a shiver down your spine. If the Black Dawn has agents inside the agency, then who can you trust? Gunnar's voice pulls you back to the present. Stay focused, everyone. We're not going to let the Black Dawn win. Not today. Not ever. You nod, steeling yourself for what's to come. The battle against the Black Dawn is just beginning, and you know that you'll need every ounce of strength, every bit of cunning, and every resource the agency has to fight this new and terrifying enemy. But as you look around at your team, you know one thing for certain. You're not going down without a fight. The room is tense, the air thick with the implications of the captured intruder's confession about the Black Dawn's supernatural ties. Everyone is working at a feverish pace, trying to connect the dots between the cryptic information they've just uncovered and the agency's current intel. You continue digging through the files, your mind racing with the potential threats the Black Dawn could pose with their newfound powers. Suddenly, a thought strikes you, a lead from a previous mission that might just be connected to all of this. You pull up the classified reports about a recent mission the agency had been heavily involved in, the theft of nuclear plans from a top-secret government facility. It had been a top priority for the agency to recover these plans, fearing they could fall into the wrong hands and be used to create weapons of mass destruction. For weeks, you and your team had been trying to track down the stolen documents, but every lead had gone cold, until now. You quickly scan through the files, looking for any mention of the Black Dawn. As you cross-reference the data with what you've just learned, a pattern starts to emerge. Desiree, noticing your focus, steps over to your console. What did you find, she asks, her voice tinged with curiosity and concern. You turn the screen so she can see. Look at this. The theft of the nuclear plans. It coincides with the first sightings of the Black Dawn's operatives. I think they're connected. Desiree's eyes widen as she studies the report. Are you saying the Black Dawn is after nuclear technology now? Gunnar, hearing the exchange, steps over, his expression darkening. Why would a group with supernatural abilities be interested in nuclear plans? You lean back, piecing together the information. Think about it. The Black Dawn isn't just some rogue group. They have a long-term strategy. If they're making pacts with supernatural entities and collecting powerful artifacts, nuclear plans could be another piece of their arsenal. Maybe they're planning to combine these powers with advanced technology. Gunnar nods, his face grim. A hybrid approach, using supernatural forces alongside modern weaponry. That would make them nearly unstoppable. Ashley interjects, her voice tight with urgency. If the Black Dawn has the nuclear plans and supernatural abilities, they could be planning something catastrophic. They could hold entire nations hostage or worse, create a nuclear disaster amplified by supernatural forces. The room falls silent, the weight of the realization sinking in. This isn't just about stopping a rogue faction, it's about preventing a global catastrophe. Gunnar turns to you, his voice filled with resolve. We need to find out where they've taken those plans and what they're planning to do with them. If they've already started merging supernatural elements with nuclear technology, we're running out of time. You nod, your fingers flying over the keyboard as you pull up satellite images and global intel reports. You scan through data about suspicious activities around the globe, looking for any sign of a secret facility where the Black Dawn could be hiding the plans. Suddenly, a series of reports catch your eye. There have been strange energy readings coming from an abandoned Cold War-era bunker deep in the Siberian wilderness, a place that's been off the grid for decades. You enlarge the images on the screen, revealing a massive underground complex surrounded by dense forests and hidden from all but the most sophisticated satellite technology. Gunnar leans in, his eyes narrowing as he studies the images. That could be it. It's remote, secure, and out of sight. The perfect place to conduct experiments involving both nuclear technology and supernatural forces. Desiree quickly pulls up additional intel on the location, cross-referencing it with historical data. It looks like this bunker was originally used for nuclear research during the Cold War, but it was abandoned after a series of mysterious accidents. Accidents that were never fully explained. Ashley crosses her arms, her face set with determination. Sounds like the kind of place the Black Dawn would be interested in, and if they're there, we need to move fast. Gunnar turns to the team, his voice firm and commanding. All right, everyone, listen up. We have a location. Our mission is to infiltrate that bunker, recover the nuclear plans, and put a stop to whatever the Black Dawn is planning. We need to be ready for anything. Supernatural forces, advanced weaponry, or both. Gear up and let's move out. As the team begins to prepare, you glance back at the intruder, who's been silently watching the entire time. There's a flicker of something in his eyes. Fear, maybe, or resignation. Whatever it is, it confirms that you're on the right track. The Black Dawn is up to something far more dangerous than anyone could have anticipated, and it's up to you and your team to stop them. With your gear ready and the team assembled, you step through the portal, bracing yourself for what lies ahead. The cold, biting wind of Siberia hits you immediately as you emerge. The dense forest around you, thick with snow and shadows. You take a deep breath, your senses on high alert. This mission is more than just a retrieval operation. It's a race against time to stop a group that has proven it will do whatever it takes to achieve its dark goals. As you approach the entrance to the bunker, you can't shake the feeling that you're about to face something far beyond anything you've encountered before. The fate of countless lives, and possibly the world, hangs in the balance. With a nod from Gunnar, the team moves in, ready to confront the full force of the Black Dawn and uncover the truth behind their sinister plans. The icy winds of Siberia cut through the trees, swirling snowflakes in the dense forest. The abandoned Cold War-era bunker looms ahead, a massive, foreboding structure buried beneath layers of ice and snow. As the teams move into position, every sense is heightened, and every muscle is taut with anticipation. The mission is simple. Recover the stolen nuclear plans, stop the Black Dawn, and uncover the truth behind their mysterious and supernatural connections. But everyone knows missions are never simple. First team, Overwatch, Reagan aka Warbird and Desiree aka Night Owl. From their vantage point on a rocky outcrop, Reagan, or Warbird, sets up her sniper rifle, carefully scanning the terrain below. Next to her, Desiree, known as Night Owl, adjusts her binoculars, keeping a sharp eye on the bunker entrance. Their breath forms small clouds in the cold air as they focus on their targets. We've got movement, Desiree whispers, spotting figures in dark tactical gear patrolling the perimeter. Looks like 6 hostiles, heavily armed. No signs of supernatural activity yet, but keep your eyes peeled. Reagan nods, her voice steady over the comms. Copy that. Engaging on your mark, Night Owl. Desiree marks the guards one by one, her voice calm and precise. Take the one on the left, I'll take the 2 on the right. Wait for my signal. Now. 2 shots ring out almost simultaneously, silenced by their suppressors, and the guards drop silently into the snow. Reagan and Desiree remain vigilant, covering every angle from above, ready to eliminate any threats that emerge. Second team security, Clora aka Little Bird and Alpha. At the extraction point, Clora, or Little Bird, crouches in the underbrush, her hand resting on the fur of Alpha, the massive dire wolf by her side. Alpha's eyes glow with a fierce intensity, his ears pricked, and his nose sniffing the cold air for any sign of danger. Chlora whispers softly to him, keeping him calm but ready to spring into action. "Stay sharp, Alpha," she mutters, her own senses attuned to the forest around them. "We're counting on you to keep this place secure." Alpha gives a low growl in response, acknowledging her command. His eyes never leave the tree line, his instincts on high alert. The extraction zone is secure for now, but the tension in the air is palpable. Any moment, they could be facing a full-scale assault from the Black Dawn operatives, or worse. Third Team Assault Force. Sophia aka Copper, Ashley aka Eagle, Trinity aka Mockingjay, and Alethea aka Falcon. The assault team moves silently through the snow, their breaths shallow, weapons at the ready. Sophia, or Copper, leads the way, her senses keen and her heart pounding in her chest. Behind her, Ashley, known as Eagle, watches the team's flanks, her eyes darting from shadow to shadow. Trinity, or Mockingjay, is close behind, her finger resting on the trigger of her rifle, while Alethea, or Falcon, brings up the rear, constantly checking their six. As they approach the bunker entrance, they stop, crouching behind a low embankment. Sophia peers over the edge, her eyes narrowing at the sight of the heavy steel door, which is slightly ajar. She gestures to Ashley, who nods, signaling the team to move forward. The door creaks open as Sophia pushes it with the barrel of her rifle, revealing a dark, narrow corridor lit only by flickering dim overhead lights. The team moves in, their footsteps echoing softly in the confined space. Every sense is on high alert, the silence oppressive, broken only by the occasional drip of water from the ceiling. Ashley's voice is a whisper in the comms. "Stay tight. Watch for traps. We have no idea what kind of surprises the Black Dawn has left for us." They advance through the corridor, clearing room after room. The bunker is cold, its walls covered in frost and ice, a relic of a bygone era. As they move deeper, Sophia notices strange markings on the walls, symbols that resemble those they saw in the ritualistic documents back at the base. Her stomach tightens, a sense of unease settling in. "Eagle," Sophia murmurs, gesturing to the symbols. "Looks like they've been performing rituals here. We need to be ready for anything." Ashley nods, her jaw set. "Everyone, stay sharp. We're in the lion's den now." They push on, the air growing colder and more oppressive the deeper they go. Finally, they reach a large chamber, dimly lit by flickering, green-tinted lights. In the center of the room is a massive control console surrounded by tall metal cabinets. On one of the screens, the stolen nuclear plans are displayed, alongside schematics and notes in a language none of them recognize. But before they can move forward, a low, guttural voice echoes through the chamber. "Welcome, agents of the agency. I've been expecting you." The team freezes, their weapons trained on the darkness beyond the console. From the shadows steps a tall, imposing figure, cloaked in black, his eyes glowing with an unnatural light. He raises his hand, and suddenly, the air crackles with dark energy. The temperature drops even further, frost forming on the walls as a chilling wind swirls around the room. Sophia's heart races. "Who are you?" she demands, her voice steady despite the fear creeping up her spine. The figure chuckles, a deep, menacing sound that echoes through the chamber. "I am Ultranaecious, the Demon King. The Black Dawn serves me, and soon so will your world." With a wave of his hand, shadows begin to twist and writhe, forming into grotesque creatures with glowing red eyes and razor-sharp claws. They hiss and snarl, their bodies flickering like smoke and fire as they advance toward the team. Ashley barks orders. "Engage! Take them down!" Sophia fires first, her bullets tearing through the creatures, but they dissipate only to reform moments later, seemingly unfazed by conventional weapons. Trinity fires a burst from her rifle, the rounds passing through the shadowy forms without slowing them down. "They're not going down!" Trinity shouts, panic creeping into her voice. Ashley switches to incendiary rounds, her face set with determination. "Try these!" She fires and the rounds ignite on impact, engulfing the shadow creatures in flames. They shriek and dissolve into wisps of smoke, but more keep coming, summoned by the Demon King's dark power. Alethea moves to cover the rear, her rifle trained on the encroaching shadows. We need a way to stop him. If he keeps summoning these things, we'll be overwhelmed. Sophia racks her brain, trying to remember anything from the documents they'd seen, anything about how to stop a demon like Ultranaecious. And then it hits her. The symbols on the walls. They're binding runes. We need to break his control over them. She scans the chamber, spotting a series of symbols carved into the stone walls, glowing faintly with dark energy. Falcon, Mockingjay, cover us. Eagle and I are going for the runes. Ashley nods and they sprint towards the walls, dodging the swiping claws of the shadow creatures. Sophia reaches the first rune, pulling a knife from her belt. She begins to scrape at the rune, disrupting its shape. As she does, the shadows around her flicker and weaken, their forms growing less solid. Ashley does the same on the opposite wall, and as more runes are disrupted, the creatures' attacks grow less coordinated, their forms fading in and out of existence. Ultranaecious roars in fury, his eyes blazing with rage. You think you can stop me? I am eternal. Sophia grits her teeth, moving to the next rune. You're not invincible, and neither are your minions. She disrupts another rune, and this time, the effect is immediate. The shadows nearest her collapse into nothingness, unable to reform. The chamber begins to shake, cracks forming in the walls as the dark energy starts to dissipate. But Ultranaecious isn't finished. He raises both hands and the ground beneath the team's feet begins to tremble. Stone and metal twist and warp, forming into jagged spikes that shoot up from the floor, forcing them to dodge and weave to avoid being impaled. Ashley shouts over the chaos. Falcon, Mockingjay, take out the supports. We need to bring this place down. Trinity and Alethea nod, moving quickly to plant charges on the metal supports holding up the chamber. Sophia disrupts the last rune, and the remaining shadows dissipate, leaving Ultranaecious standing alone, his power visibly weakened. Gunner's voice comes through the comms, tense but clear. Extraction is hot. We need to move now. As the team disrupts the last of the runes, the chamber around them shudders violently. The once solid walls now groan and crack under the strain of the collapsing structure. Ultranaecious, visibly weakened, glares at the team with eyes blazing with fury and a hint of desperation. The flickering shadows of his summoned creatures are gone, but a new danger emerges. The sharp crack of gunfire echoes through the chamber. The team dives for cover as bullets ricochet off the stone and metal. Human operatives of the Black Dawn, heavily armed and clad in dark tactical gear, pour into the room from multiple entrances, their faces hidden behind balaclavas. These are no ordinary soldiers. They move with lethal precision, trained to kill. Ashley, or Eagle, shouts over the gunfire, her voice urgent. We're not done yet. They're trying to pin us down. Move! Move! Sophia, or Copper, takes point again, leading the team towards the exit with her rifle up, scanning for targets. She spots a group of Black Dawn operatives taking cover behind a series of old, rusted consoles. With a quick signal, she points them out to Trinity, or Mockingjay, and Alethea, or Falcon. Trinity nods and throws a flashbang grenade over the consoles. The grenade detonates with a blinding flash and deafening bang, disorienting the operatives. As they stumble, Sophia opens fire, her shots precise, dropping two before they can recover. Alethea picks off another with a well-placed shot to the chest. Ashley, meanwhile, takes aim at Ultranaecious, who is trying to summon more shadows despite his weakened state. Not so fast, Demon King, she mutters, squeezing the trigger. Her incendiary round hits him in the shoulder, igniting his cloak. He lets out a guttural roar, stumbling back, his dark aura flickering wildly as the fire spreads. Gunner's voice crackles in Sophia's earpiece, urgent and commanding. Extraction portal is live, but you've got to move fast. More hostiles are on their way. Sophia nods, speaking quickly into the comms. Understood. We're moving. Falcon, Mockingjay, cover our retreat. Alethea and Trinity lay down suppressive fire as the team pushes forward, driving back the Black Dawn operatives. The sound of gunfire and shouting fills the air, the once quiet bunker now a chaotic battleground. Reagan, or Warbird, and Desiree, or Night Owl, keep their sniper rifles trained on the enemies below from their Overwatch position on the high ground. Their shots ring out in quick succession, taking down any Black Dawn members who try to flank the team. Desiree's voice is calm and steady over the comms. "You're clear on the left. We've got you covered." Chlora, or Little Bird, at the extraction point with Alpha, hears the firefight escalating over the comms. She pats Alpha's side, her voice low. "Stay ready, Alpha. We're going to have company soon." As the assault team pushes through the bunker, they encounter a group of Black Dawn operatives blocking the main corridor leading to the exit. The operatives have set up a defensive position, using overturned tables and debris as cover. One of them shouts, his voice filled with rage. "You'll never leave here alive, agents. The Black Dawn will rise and your world will fall." Sophia quickly assesses the situation, her mind racing. They're outnumbered and outgunned, but she spots a weak point in the enemy's line, a cluster of exposed gas canisters near the barricade. She signals Ashley. "Eagle, those canisters! They're our way out." Ashley nods, aiming her rifle. "Everyone, get down!" She fires a single shot, hitting one of the canisters. There's a moment of silence, then a massive explosion as the gas ignites, sending a fireball through the corridor. Black Dawn operatives are thrown back by the blast, their defensive position in ruins. The team takes advantage of the chaos, sprinting down the hallway as debris rains down around them. They reach the final corridor, the portal shimmering at the end, a swirling vortex of light and energy. But more Black Dawn operatives rush in from side passages, firing wildly. Trinity shouts, her voice urgent. "We're almost there! Cover each other and keep moving!" The team forms a defensive line, firing back at the advancing enemies. Sophia takes down 2 operatives with quick, controlled bursts, while Alethea drops another with a precise headshot. Trinity lays down suppressive fire, keeping the enemy at bay long enough for Ashley to plant a small explosive charge on a support column. Ashley shouts, "Charge set! Fall back to the portal!" The team moves as one, firing and retreating, making their way to the portal. Chlora's voice comes through the comms. "Extraction zone is clear, but you need to hurry." Alpha, sensing the urgency, begins to growl, his eyes fixed on the entrance of the bunker, ready to defend his teammates. Chlora glances at him, her grip tightening on her weapon. "Stay with me, Alpha. We'll get them out of here." As Sophia and the team reach the portal, Ashley triggers the explosive charge. The support column collapses, bringing down part of the bunker's ceiling, blocking the path of the Black Dawn operatives and buying the team precious seconds. They dive through the portal just as the debris crashes down, sealing the bunker behind them. On the other side, they land in the snowy forest, breathless but relieved. Reagan and Desiree quickly descend from their high ground, covering the area for any pursuing threats. Chlora moves to secure the portal, her eyes scanning for any signs of the enemy. Alpha stands beside her, his fur bristling, ready to pounce at the slightest hint of danger. Gunnar appears through the shimmering portal, quickly assessing the team. His eyes lock on Ashley. "Did you get it?" Ashley nods, holding up a small encrypted drive. "We got the plans, and we found out who's behind this. Ultranaecious, some kind of demon king. He's using the Black Dawn to gain power, combining supernatural forces with modern weaponry. This isn't just about nuclear plans anymore." Gunnar's face darkens. "Then we've got a bigger fight on our hands than we thought. We need to get this intel back to HQ, figure out our next move. The Black Dawn and Ultranaecious aren't going to stop, and neither can we." The team gathers around, catching their breath, each member realizing the gravity of what they've just uncovered. The Black Dawn isn't just a rogue faction, it's a dark force, led by a powerful demon, with ambitions that go far beyond anything the agency has faced before. As they regroup and prepare to leave, Sophia glances back at the now sealed bunker, a cold determination settling in her chest. The fight against the Black Dawn and Ultranaecious is far from over, but they've made it out alive, and they've got the intel they need to take the next step. The battle has just begun.